Hello, how's it going? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself. Today is a Patreon quest for Sir Johnny, the return of Transistor. And the song is called We All Become. It's been a long time since Transistor has been on the channel. Not too long ago, I did Hades. Same composer, Darren Korb, Supergiant Games. I discovered Darren and Supergiant on this channel, and it's been some life-changing stuff. To this day, one of my favorite reactions, if not my favorite reactions on the entire channel, was from Darren Korb. So, but I know Transistor is a little different. It's kind of like on the experimental electronic side from what I remember, but it's also been a very long time. So here we go. We All Become. I do know that this is a lot of people's favorite Supergiant soundtrack. So that's something. Anyways, Transistor. Let's go.
When you speak, I hear silence. Every word a defiance. I can hear, oh, I can hear. Think I'll go where it suits me. Moving now to a country with everyone, oh, everyone, before we all become one.
What a tease.
You tell yourself that you're lucky.
We've already had 3 different beats.
Lying down never struck me as something fun, oh, any fun. Stabbing pain for the feeling. Now your wounds never healing till you're numb, oh, it's begun.
Oh, it's really electric on this side. Oh, the use of dynamics.
We all become one. We all become one. Oh, we all become one. Oh, we all become one. Stop breathing, start leaving.
Harmony.
We all become one.
Another beat. Oh my god, dude, the percussion is insane.
Become.
Is that it? There's still like 20 seconds left of this video. Okay. Dang. The whole thing was a tease, even the ending. Okay. It's very refreshing to me knowing that it's a composer, and yet I would never even think it's that composer just like checking it out blind. Now that may sound kind of odd, like maybe you'd think that I'd want to recognize their sound, but to me it's more about the diversity and just how broad their palette is. If I had no idea this was Transistor or Darren or Supergiant, I kind of would have not known who that was. Kind of, a little bit, but not really. Like it's so vastly different from the Hades I just heard not too long ago. So I really like that. I really like that Transistor in this case does not sound like Hades. Hades doesn't sound like Pyre, etc. Right? So that's really cool for me. I really like. I've never been on this boat of if Well, sort of. I don't know how to word this right. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But sort of, not, maybe fix isn't the right word. I like artists that can expand and do different things and not just do the same song or album throughout their entire lives. This is a very musically gifted, inclined person. Darren. I don't know who the singer was. Maybe it says right here. This is the Supergiant's Ashley Barrett. Of course. I think that is now a common thing now with Darren and Ashley. Pretty sure. Actually, I think they did one in Hades as well, In the Blood, if I recall correctly. Let's talk about her a little later. But for now, Darren is, I think, in this modern age, one of the most gifted composers we have. So many different sounds, so many different. In this song alone, which was not even 3 minutes long, we heard like, I believe, 4 or 5 different percussion sections. Some were repeated, but they had the filters on, so the treble was cut off, and it was just, you know, that over the phone type frequency. It had like kind of jungle percussion, kind of drum and bass. There was like just more of a hip hop beat towards the middle. There was times where it's sped up and then it completely dropped. There was a lot of here you go, but then also just take it away. Same with the vocals, but we'll get to that in a second. I don't know what Transistor is. I don't know what kind of game it is. But I can tell, like I said, it's nothing like what I know was as Hades. I know there's other ones. There's Pyre, Hades. There's another one I can't remember. Sorry, it's Hades, Pyre, Transistor, and whatever the other one is, which I've done on the channel as well. Oh, I can't remember. But I can tell just from the art and attention to detail that they all are probably extremely different. At least soundtracks. I don't know about the game. I'm trying to think, and this is why I like video game music so much, is because of stuff like this. In what other instance would you really hear anything like the song we just heard? You wouldn't hear that on the radio. You definitely wouldn't hear it on, you know, modern media like TikTok, YouTube, or something. This kind of stuff, this creative freedom, kind of only exists in games. Movies wouldn't even like really do something like this. Maybe. But this is why VGM is really, really awesome to me, because of stuff like this. That to me sounded kind of like its own genre. Because say I wanted to hear more of that, which I do. Where would I go? Do I just put on the Transistor soundtrack and that's all? Or can I, you know what I'm saying? So it's a double-edged sword. It's very unique and it's cool and I want to hear more, but also there's not much more in the world. So someone has to, you know, it has to kind of blossom into its own thing. The vocals were, I think, from what I remember, I think I've had Ashley on this channel maybe, with this one included, maybe 3 times. Right around there, not too much. But I want to say around 3 times. And out of all the ones I've heard, I think this was her best performance. Not only was it just sensational as far as the way it sounded, but her breath control, when she decided to project a little more volume. She also has this really gift, this really nice gift of being able to just kind of accentuate her speaking voice into a bit of a singing voice. So it wasn't really like belting out a bunch of notes sometimes, but it was more like just kind of carrying your voice in such a melodic way. That's super impressive to me. I don't know what that technique is called, but it has a very laid back, very natural feel to it. I can imagine the recording session and imagining what she looks like during that. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can visually see what she looks like recording that, you know, getting very personal and kind of just doing this and closing her eyes and kind of just all these things instead of just kind of like sitting there, or you know what I mean? You can feel the music coming through her diaphragm. So mix that with drums that are all over the place and very cool synthesizers that were also going with all the mystery. I've never seen footage of Transistor. I've only seen this image. I don't know how many Transistor songs I've done, maybe 2, something like that. But I think this was my favorite one. I don't know what it's relating to. I don't know if it plays in-game, if it plays on a cutscene or something. It sounds a little more cutscene to me. I don't know if that's, I can't really see that in the gameplay anywhere. But overall, I think you can't do wrong with those two people. And honestly, just Supergiant just kind of really just knocks it out of the park. And I'm aware that they have a second Hades coming out, so you know they're doing good and people are buying. And I've always noticed one thing that is unanimous, regardless of what game it is. Maybe you don't like Hades, maybe you don't like Pyre, maybe you don't like the other mysterious one that I can't think of right now. But it seems to be unanimous that Supergiant soundtracks and Darren Korb are well regarded as some of the best like current music in gaming. And I would have to agree with that. It's a breath of fresh air. Very nice. And a little unexpected. VGM. Cool. Thank you, Sir Johnny, for the request. Thank you to Supergiant fans. And thank you to all my Patreon members here that you see supporting me, taking me on this journey. And a big thank you to my Platinum supporters on Patreon. Kevin, Patrick, Shadow Maxim, Vanadel, Kalanen, Gardelane, Mushimari, Justin, Knox, and TriEdge 101. All of them get priority request and a big shout out for me. Thank you to Darren Korb and Ashley Barrett. I'm very impressed by Transistor. And I don't know, I'm just kind of dumbfounded. Easily the best song I've heard from Transistor, for sure. Let me know more about it. Until next time, dudes and dudettes, my name is Jesse. This has been The Auditorium. Have a good night.